Hello, I'm going to keep this brief. You see the title of the video, and I want to be very clear. Before I say any points that I'm going to address in this video, I want to be crystal clear. Do not send any hate to any vegans. Do not send any hate to Pandora Knox. This is just me expressing my opinions on something that was said rather recently. And my audio is still working. Okay, we're good. But I'm going to be perfectly clear. Do not send any hate to Pandora Knox. This is just mainly calling out something incredibly stupid and misguided that she said earlier within the week. And I'm going to be very clear. What I am talking about in this video is not attacking any of her life choices. It is not attacking any of her identity. It is mainly calling out a very problematic thing that she did that not a lot of people are noticing that she's doing. So I'm being very clear with that. Pandora Knox, I do not have a problem with you being a vegan. You can eat whatever you choose to eat. That is completely fine. Live your life as a vegan. But what I am not going to tolerate is you forcing your vegan lifestyle onto other people through a rage baity post. You know what you did on your page. You made a controversial statement and said that you can't be a feminist if you aren't a vegan. Now you may not have intended it to come off the way it's come across, but when you say stuff like that, you are essentially saying that you are a horrible person if you don't eat vegan food, which I'm not going to eat vegan food. I've tried it, not a fan. Don't like the texture, and it doesn't really do much for me. But that's fine. I don't have to like eating vegan food, just like you don't have to like eating meat. I'm not judging you for that lifestyle. So, what you are doing is you are putting an assumption that everybody who consumes meat is also okay with the slaughtering of animals in slaughterhouses. But you have to be aware not every form of meat comes from a slaughterhouse. Not every form of meat comes via animal abuse. Those things should be called out. That's why we don't mess with people like PETA who claim they love and support animals, but then they kill almost every animal they have come to their shelter. We don't support that on this page. And we're not going to support the practices of slaughterhouses. Those are wrong and inhumane ways to produce meat. But that's not what you're saying. You're not saying it's wrong to agree with slaughterhouses. Because if you had said that, nobody would have a problem with what you're saying. Because I'm noticing a large number of your comment section is heavily disagreeing with you. You are saying if you eat meat, period, and I quote, these are your words, honey. You said you cannot be a feminist and not vegan at the same time. You can only be a feminist if you're vegan. When you are saying that, you are forcing people to adapt to your lifestyle of veganism. Because you are essentially saying that if you are not vegan, you are a terrible person. You are a horrible person. You are an evil person. That is what you are essentially saying when you say shit like this. You may not mean it that way. And I'm very open to the fact that you may have meant it in a different way. You may have had different ways of addressing it. Did you know that there are some people who actually do need meat to survive? There are people who have gone on the vegan diet and have gotten sick because they lacked protein. There are people who have gotten sick from joining veganism and have had to go in and out of the hospital because of that. And I'm noticing that, again, if you want to practice veganism, that is completely fine. But do not force it on other people. Do not force people to be a part of your cult. Because what you are essentially cultivating is a cult. You are essentially telling people you cannot be a good person unless you live exactly like me, unless you breathe exactly like me, unless you walk exactly like me. That is what you are projecting. That is what your post is saying, whether you intended it that way or no. And you are posting a very, very irresponsible message as well. Because many, many, many vegans, I saw vegans calling you out in your comment section too. Many people repeated the same thing. You are giving vegans a very bad name because many vegans have this stereotype that they are forcing their lifestyle on other people. And that's not every vegan. I've met vegans who are the chillest people in the world that won't harm you, that won't come, that won't force their lifestyle on you. And they're just the chillest people in the world. That's not what you're doing. You are essentially saying you are not a good feminist unless you support this. Because you are essentially saying all meat eaters support the slaughterhouse when, again, not every piece of meat that is sold or created comes from a slaughterhouse. And that's not okay. So, no, you are rage baiting people because you want a reaction. You want people to fight about it in the comment section. You want to provoke a reaction. This isn't a post that's meant with any kind of sincerity at all. It just comes off as narcissistic. It just comes off as you need to be exactly like me. And if you're not exactly like me, you're a shitty person. That is the vibe your post has given off. And I don't understand why you thought that was a good idea to post. It's just as bad as when Victoria Scone posted her picture with PETA, but at least with Victoria, she wasn't aware of what PETA was doing. You are fully aware of what you are doing, which is rage baiting people, telling people that they're evil people unless they follow your exact guidelines. And most importantly, forcing your vegan lifestyle onto other people. That is not how you make people vegans. And again, if you want to eat vegan food, that is completely fine. I don't have a problem with you wanting to eat vegan food. Eat whatever you want to eat, girl. Nobody is stopping you. The same way I am not going to force you to eat meat, you should not force me to eat vegan food. I'm not going to be gaslit by you into thinking me and a bunch of other people are horrible people just because they eat meat. You're in a survival setting. If you're in a survival setting, you're trapped in the woods. You're not going to survive off of a vegan diet there. You're going to have to adapt. You're going to have to hunt when you are trapped in the woods or in the forest or in any kind of jungle. You are going to have to adapt and eat meat. You are not going to survive off of the plant life out there. And I know some people are going to say, oh, well, there's mushrooms. Yes, did you know most of the mushrooms are poisonous? Let's say somebody joins a vegan diet, which is fine, but you also have to be realistic and understand that some people, whether you see it that way or no, do need meat to survive. Because what happens when when some people, not all people, some people stop eating meat, they get deficiencies and they get sick, and it affects their health system in ways that it should not affect them. There are countless stories of people who tried the vegan diet and got sick after being off of meat for so long, and then they eat meat again, and the smile on their faces is crazy. But again, it's okay to be both. Both can coexist at the same time. A meat eater and a vegan can exist at the same time. A eater and a vegan can both be feminists. You know what you are doing. You know what you're doing, but you are playing dumb to it in the comment section, being like, oh, I'm not doing anything wrong. That's what you're doing. You are trying to rage bait people. You are trying to force your lifestyle onto people, and that's not okay. It's not okay. You are irresponsible for putting that up because you know what that's going to do. This is going to give people even more ammo to shit on vegans. There are already large groups of people that hate vegans because they think they're all fucking crazy people who force their lifestyle on other people, which is not true. Most of them don't. Most of them just eat different things. They're no different than vegetarians. The only difference is what they eat. A vegan, a vegetarian, meat eater, sometimes both. Sometimes there are people who like both things. And that's okay. We can all coexist as people, as allies, without being labeled as horrible people just because we don't conform to your lifestyle. And I'm going to be very clear before I end this off. Do not send hate to vegans. Do not send hate to Pandora Knox. That is not what this video was. This video was made to bring awareness to an issue that is going to be started from an irresponsible poster. I am not saying Pandora Knox is a horrible person. Let me be very crystal clear on that before any of my words get twisted around. I am not saying she's a horrible person. I don't know her. I've never met her. I've never had a conversation with her. So I cannot safely say whether or not she is a good person, bad person. I can't say that because I don't know her. But I can say when something is irresponsible, and I do think this is irresponsible. I think you should make a statement on this. I think you should explain yourself on what you mean because there is a lot of people that are getting the idea that you are saying all meat eaters are bad, that if you eat meat, you are not allowed to be a feminist, which means they have to be exactly like you. That is the impression that your post is giving. And you need to address that. You need to talk about that. I want to give you the benefit of the doubt and assume you may have just explained it wrong. I'll even give you the benefit of the doubt and say maybe it was meant in good fun. Maybe it was a joke. But just the way it is worded, even the way you're responding in the comment sections is just very dismissive. Just very dismissive of people who disagree with. I even saw people in there giving calm reactions saying they don't agree with what you're saying, and you give dismissive answers, being like, oh, you're so wrong. Oh, you're so wrong. Oh, how does it feel to be wrong? Like that's the responses I'm seeing you give to the comments you have responded to. Just very dismissive. And it's not making you look good. It's not making you come off good. And like I said, you are irresponsible. You have a big platform. You have a platform of multiple people who are going to use that post, whether you intend on it or no. You are using that post, and people are going to look at your post and they're going to take that as, okay, I see someone eating a Big Mac. I'm going to start cussing them out and making a scene. I'm going to start saying they're horrible people. I'm going to start picking on someone because they're eating pizza. I'm going to start picking on someone because they're eating burgers. That's what you're doing. You are setting people up to bully other people. You know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. And with that being said, this is Kunimitsu 877 signing out. Bye bye.